Yo, right here in the small box. First of all, y'all got Parks. Forget everybody else here. Y'all got Parks. I've never seen Parks outside like that. Let's make that clear right now. I've never seen him outside like that, or he's just openly on another platform that's completely outside of the Joe Budden network. That's crazy. Whatever y'all did to get Parks, hey, I applaud that because I ain't see that coming. I saw Parks. I'm like, Parks? What are you doing here? Then they got DJ Head and robmarkman. I'm like, what is going on here? What is going on here? Something's fishy. Something smell kind of rank. There's a strong smell coming from the other side of the dough. And I'm trying to figure out, what is that smell? I don't know if it's tuna. I don't know if it's salmon. I don't know if it's sardines, some tilapia. Something going on here. And I like it because I like fish. Anyway, my point is, this is interesting. So let me not waste any more time. The title of this is Did Kendrick Win 2025 plus Breakout Stars and the Clips Comeback, the Year in Music, Part 1. Let's go ahead and make it happen. New show alert, clearly. Y'all know how I start this, right? So let's go ahead and make it happen. Yo, you, right here in the small box, Welcome back to Flex Mob Reactions, only on the Flex Mob Network. I'm Flex. Welcome back to the channel. I didn't see this coming in any kind of way, but I'm here for it. This looks overly interesting. I am very, very excited to watch this, and I don't even want to waste any more time. Look, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the reaction. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when I drop my videos or when I'm live, like right now. And let's get started. Let's go.
I asked my West Coast brother who he thought won that whole battle.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, I think that long and hard.
Yeah, it's tough. Huh?
It's hard.
When you say one.
Welcome to Off the Record, Year in Music 2025. Today I'm joined by an amazing panel of incredible, talented music journalists and music curators. These are voices who not only cover the culture, but shape and drive the conversations that we all have. I have with me DJ Head, EB Annie, Parks, robmarkman. Very excited and very honored to share space with you guys today. Quick note before we get started, we are discussing music from this calendar year, so not the Grammy year. And with that being said, let's talk about music.
Let's do it.
Okay.
That means no GNX.
No GNX.
I didn't come here to be bullied.
Okay, so we're gonna start with defining music moments of 2025. I'm gonna start with you, DJ Head. It's been an amazing year for music. I feel like it's been full of a lot of moments, but which one stood out to you?
Music moment?
Clips.
For me, it was, well, contrary to Rob's opinion, the GNX tour did take place 2025.
Got it,
I found it. I found my spot, you know what I mean? For me, that was a big deal just because, seeing the homie in that light, I thought that was akin to, I've only had 2 experiences like that, and that moment did level up the first experience I had. The first one was when I saw Hove at the Barclays, and he did PSA. And that was one of them hip-hop moments for me, oh, this is hip-hop at the highest level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when I went to the GNX tour, I was like, yo, this is what hip-hop on the highest level looks like to me.
Yeah, that's
so that was monumental.
Yeah. That's good.
I mean, I joked and said, no GNX, but GNX came out November of 2024, so the effects of it were felt in 2025. For me, it was the Super Bowl. It was Kendrick at the Super Bowl, and I went to the tour too, and the tour was amazing. But just feeling that as a hip hop fan, why?
Say, Drake, I hear you like I'm young. Yo, that look at the camera is the most devious thing I've ever seen in my life.
Watching Kendrick and SZA on that Super Bowl stage and Mustard, and it was a hip hop show. They
And
didn't
Serena
pull any
Williams.
punches. I didn't feel like they were trying to appeal to a wider audience or, I mean, got up there and rapped. I mean, gave us some choreo, but it was all meaningful. It was intentional. It was culture filled. And it was like, yo, yes, he's one of the biggest stars in music, but it was like, yo, that's some motherfucking rapper on stage. That's some hip hop shit. So for me, that was a defining moment.
For sure. That was my defining moment too.
I don't have a singular one. I would say the Mass Appeal Legend Has It series for me would be the defining moment. Maybe it's showing my age. I'm 42 years old, but these are all our favorite acts from that era getting the proper shine they deserve with great projects 20, 30 years into their career. So it's a beautiful thing for me.
Sure.
I have to echo Rob's point and say Kendrick at the Super Bowl. I was just so impressed, and I think being impressed.
You gotta remember though, the pop out was 2024. Yeah, it was 2024. Don't forget that. They're speaking only on 2025. So of course everyone's gonna say the Super Bowl. I just want to hear what she got to say though. Who is she? Girl look good, you know. Jesus.
Go Rob's point and
Look at the
say
melanin.
Kendrick at the Super Bowl. I was just so impressed, and I think being impressed has been a lost feeling this year in music for me. And I think Kendrick performing at the Super Bowl was more than rap being invited into that space. It was a moment to shine a light on what a talented rapper looks like as far as performance artistry, because I don't think we get to see that a lot as a performance artist. I'm talking someone who is essentially a theater kid at heart, who can do what the best performers across any genre can do, but as a rapper. That to me was beyond any performance I've seen this year. And it was just a testament to artistry and craftsmanship. And I feel like he has not reached his peak. He is just at a zenith right now.
Yeah.
And it's just so impressive. I think the run of GNX and the rollout, the music, the anticipation, the fanfare, the media coverage, the intentionality is just very impressive to me. So that was a 100% standout moment.
Yeah.
And it got a lot of hate, which says something.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have a big moment without
I love
hate,
that.
yeah.
I was critical of some parts of that performance too. I mean, you know, it's the politically tinged moments and, you know, what it means for someone as an artist like Kendrick to be inserting himself into this political conversation, but also to remove himself from other political conversations. I mean, there's enough to critique because it's art worth critiquing.
That's true. That's true.
I want to, one thing that Park said too that I think was important, I too enjoyed, it wasn't at the top of my list, but the Mass Appeal Legend Has It rollout, because there's been a lot of talk about what hip hop isn't and what hip hop wasn't accomplishing this year, and I think that was all smoke and mirrors. You know, talking about the Billboard,
Yeah,
it's
not charting,
Billboard,
yeah.
it's like this, it's like that, but man, 2025 was a groundbreaking year for hip hop, and I think one of the things that the Legend Mass Appeals series did was redefine or help further define. The clips also help do this. What it means to age in hip hop, what it means to be a veteran in hip hop. A lot of times we're told that hip hop is a young person's sport, and it is. I think it is driven by the youth, but I think a lot of that messaging is also to divorce us from ourselves, right? And the things that we can learn from our veterans and how we can learn not to fall for the pitfalls and the traps and stuff like that. So to see the elder statesmen in hip hop still have fruitful careers, still give us big and exciting moments, I think is super important, and we can't gloss over that. And also shout to Nas, man. Nas took a lot of criticism throughout his career. Like he wasn't the guy that was known as the exec, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe in the way that Jay-Z was, but Nas got his exec on this year, boy.
And rap still at a very high level.
And rapped at a high level.
To Rob's point, though, I think what needs to be echoed as well from the veteran standpoint, and like what the clips were able to do this year, to me was like very vindicating.
It was.
It was extremely vindicating from a veteran standpoint to see that artists can rap at a high level. They hadn't had an album out since I was in high school, pretty much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not that long ago, but I'm just saying, like,
a little sauce on it.
you get a little sauce on it. I'm just saying, like, for me, seeing veterans of that magnitude heralded and celebrated in the way that they were the album getting recognition. We don't know if they're gonna win yet, but being nominated, I think that they did a great job. I know Parks was talking about it earlier, like the rollout and like those things matter. And I think that in hip hop, we've sort of adopted this microwave culture where we haven't. People have adopted this microwave culture where it doesn't matter. It's like, just throw the shit out. And it's like, no, we're seeing the results of you just throwing shit out. And I think when there's intentionality, to Rob's point, when there's intention behind it, I think that we are able to see that, and I think it's able to get the light that it deserves.
Yeah, that clip's rollout was definitely one of the standout moments for me.
Yo, Nuno, I like this whole panel. Let me just get that out the way. I just want to step in and just say a little tidbit. Let me just read this real quick. Who had a better performance this year other than Kendrick? The reality is that Kendrick took over the whole year. He took over the whole year. I remember I made a post on Instagram on the Fleximan Network Instagram story. I said, okay, and I made that message specifically for Toronto because we know people like to hate, but I said, if we're going to hate, let's be smart about it. GNX came out in November of 2024. We are in December of 2025, still talking about an album that literally came out more than a year ago. And yet we still want to hate collectively as a city. That's not smart. Keep in mind, the Grammys are in 2026. And the album came out in 2024. Now we know the stop date for submitting your music for the Grammys. It's in September. Shout out Judy. Appreciate you. But regardless of when the submission date ended, you got to understand I'm looking at when that album was released. And if you're going to hate on something that's been so successful specifically for the culture, then I want you to stay in your lane and dwell in the mistakes that you are making as somebody that is of the culture. I want to make that clear, because going against the grain in a time where we need to be a part of it is not wise. It is not wise at all. Let's get that out the way. Now y'all know I'm not Canadian around here that's going to shake things up. Okay, let's go ahead and make that clear right now. But I'm still going to sit there and try to conversate with individuals like that, because I really want to break it down to the raw reason as to why y'all dislike this individual, and it's literally just based off of hate. But the hate that y'all see, what you're not realizing is that everybody else sees it as nothing but it's just simply phenomenal. It's phenomenal art, exquisite art, extraordinary art. Looking and realizing and listening, this is what the art form is. A lot of people can't get past that because of blind hatred. That's a nasty trait to keep. I'm gonna let you know right now. You gotta let it go. Because I also said it's a very opportune moment to really make some quality music, because we are stuck in a shift. This shift that we're in, you gotta understand, there's a lot of things we need to let go for this shift to happen. And as long as we start to hold on tight to those same things, that's the longer it's going to take to get through this. The faster we can let go is the faster we can move on, and the quicker we can be great again. So we can set new records, shatter all kinds of achievements and other records out there. Breaking past all our limits and just achieving something that's just absolutely extraordinary. But as long as we stay hugging to these little systems and little things that we like to hold on to ever so dearly, it's going to take forever to get through this. And it's going to suck, you know? So, but shout out to the clips regardless. That melanin is popping, girl. Don't get me started. Shout out to the clips regardless, because look at the rollout that they did for the album. Let God sort them out. Right? Do you understand how long it's been since we've seen somebody fully roll out their project, being everywhere they need to be, Mind you, look at their age. Look at their ages. They're brothers, but they're up there in age. Well, if I'm correct, Pusha T's 48 and Malice is 52. If I'm correct, I could be wrong. But I know they're close in age. Like, the age bracket is pretty tight on them. Pause. But my point is, they did what they needed to do to push that album. They literally set an example of what you need to do. There is zero excuses anymore for any of these young dudes. There are zero excuses. And they're not realizing AI music is right there. It's not going away. Recently, Warner said they're going to allow AI music. Warner, one of the main pillars, said they're going to allow AI music. That's a problem. That is a big problem. AI music is right there. And if you don't smarten up, lock in, and stop being lazy and be in your feelings, then we can start doing this for real.
I'm pretty sure you guys feel the same way.
They went to print first, like.
Which was crazy.
Right.
Because people don't really do that these days.
Right.
They played like they went back to the playbook, but it still felt very impactful.
Right.
Yeah, shout out to
Josh.
Fraser Tharpo at GQ, man. I think he did an amazing job in the time when people say that the audience doesn't read, that print journalism is suffering, particularly in the hip-hop space. I think he did a really impactful job.
They read that
He's
one,
my
didn't
favorite
they?
rapper.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said we read that one, though.
yeah, absolutely.
That one, and we read the Harper's Bazaar one with SZA.
Yeah.
Like, it's a thing.
That's why the word you use, vindicating, is so on point as far as this rollout, because it is very vindicating to see craftsmanship and skill be heralded amongst all the noise. It is so vindicating to also see artists at that level work with and appreciate media, because it has not been a traditional focus on real media for these rollouts, because artists haven't needed to talk to media.
Right.
Essentially, they can talk to bloggers, they can talk to streamers, they can talk to content creators.
They did everything else but use the one source that's going to push them the best. They thought sitting down with a Kai Cenat was going to do magic for them, because he got the pulse on the audience that they need. But they're not realizing that the audience that they need, a lot of them really don't care for real. A lot of them don't care. You're dealing with kids on the internet behind screens that don't give a Just think about that. So yes, they are going to listen to your joints eventually, but just not right now, because they won't do what they want to do. You go on TikTok, you see what they doing. Unless your damn song come with a dance, it ain't gonna work. And there's only one artist. Well, okay, let me not say one artist. There was a handful of artists that were shipping music that came with a dance, and every one of those songs flew. You already know what name I'm going to say. I don't need to say it. I've been saying the name. You know exactly which light-skinned R&B singer made a song that came with a dance that blew up on TikTok and secured his spot as the #1 R&B artist for the year. I don't need to say it. You got it.
But the clips have gone on record talking about how they need media and value media. And I think that's so important. And look at the fruits of their labor. All the ancillary things came with that. They were memified.
Hey, Miss Nunu, take care. Have a great day. Enjoy your time. Make sure to get some rest. Relax your body and just be an outstanding individual, all right? Take care.
So that helped with Gen Z. People read their print stories. They were able to have control over their narrative and also have people contribute to their narrative. And it just expanded the music. So when the album dropped, we're still talking about it because of all the media placements they did.
I want to piggyback off of what EVA said and get off my shit real quick, because I think that's an excellent point about journalists and the media. I know who I am. I know where I come from. I think this whole hip-hop thing is communal, and I think we all need each other to tell our stories. Obviously,
What's good, Quickie?
we need the artists, we need the rappers need the DJs, we need producers, unless we're doing spoken word. Like this is a real communal thing. And I think for a lot of years it was treated as if media, a lot of journalists are outsiders or who don't come from the culture.
Absolutely.
And there are a lot who don't. There are a lot who don't. But there's a lot of authenticity here. I came up from the same neighborhoods that your favorite rappers came up from. Like DJ Head, the same thing. Like we got Queens representative, we got Big Bronx Energy over here. Like, you know, like we from the same circumstances. And y'all not gonna box me out and say that what I do isn't important to the culture. And I think the clips was a testament to that. And they sat with the right people, helped tell the right stories. And you know, before that, it was just like, oh, we don't need the media. We got social media. We can go to the streamers. We can go to this one. We can go to that one. Shit, if I'm gonna be even honest, we go to the white boy streamers that really started in gaming, but now they're popular from gaming. So now they giving us hip hop game. And it's like, you could do that if you want, but there's something missing in the translation. And if you want to tell that authentic story, it's certain people that you got to sit with. To me, all in this room too, right here, right now. So I think that's super important.
Music and art should not be treated like an Instagram post, which a lot of artists have been doing and still continue to do, where it's just like, let's just put it out and see what numbers it runs.
Brother, say all of that again, please.
I think that's super important.
Music and art should not be treated like an Instagram post, which a lot of artists have been doing and still continue to do, where it's just like, let's just put it out and see what numbers it runs up. And that's not a way to handle art.
I agree.
It should be treated like the precious commodity that it is, both financially, and in order for people to get to that, you have to present it as that, which the clips did, especially, you know, you're behind LV, you know, it's a luxury brand, and Pharrell, like that's a great platform to do it, but like, this is valuable. Let's present it as value, let's treat it as valuable, and reap the rewards.
I feel like what stood out to me was not only the rollout before the album, but the post rollout.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because I feel like there's so many cases,
Yeah.
they're still going. There's so many cases where artists they do a great like pre-rollout, drop this great body of work, and then it's silent. And I feel like clips just keeping the conversation going is something that I feel like we're missing a lot these days. I don't know.
That's what you're supposed to do, but because we're so used to the routine that comes with DSPs, we've forgotten what it means to be an artist that has a project. Notice what they're talking about, how they had the pre-rollout, the album drops, and then it's a post-rollout, just to summarize. You not realize that's pretty much a full storybook. Regardless if it's fiction, non-fiction, you have a prologue, you have the meat and potatoes of the full story at your fingertips in this book. Then you have an epilogue. That's a whole storybook. That's what these projects should be treated as. Regardless of what your theme is, regardless of what kind of like audience you're trying to capture, you gotta treat it like a full story. You gotta treat it like a full story. You gotta present it and make it understandable to the consumer, to the audience, so they can gravitate and make that purchase, regardless if it's a pre-purchase, a purchase when it drops, or a purchase when they come across some content that's going to make them interested in purchasing way after that album dropped. You got to put care into this now. That's what I'm saying. With AI music, the people not understand, with AI music, you can flood DSPs with AI music if they allow it. Do people not get that? With how fast you can make a song with a prompt and then pull whatever the prompt makes, whatever songs you have, pull what you like, and you can start putting together an album in that same day. You can make an album in an hour off of AI music. Think about it. It could take all of 30 minutes to make an album of 12 songs with AI music. That's how fast it is to make this ish. Do people not get that part? Do people not see the danger behind that? It's so dangerous.
I think just me that feels the same way.
For sure.
No, you're right. But that's also people. That's a lack of resources and to what Rob said, community. Like a lot of people are trying to get the big bang. Now we have. I don't want to say it the way that it was said to me, but I'll just say that the fans have come out of the stands and now on the court. So now you have people who don't even understand first week numbers discussing first week sales.
Right.
And it's like, you don't even understand what that means.
Right.
But now that's indicative of how good the body of work is, and that's not the case.
But you know what that is too, and part of that is, and that's right, and that's a problem too. But if we're being honest, then it starts, the music ain't worth talking about for a lot of these artists. Like, you're not even giving us something worth paying attention to. Again, the clips came out, we talking about the lyrics, the beats, the this and that. Kendrick came out and did phenomenal first week numbers. I know 2024 is GNX, but we talked about dissecting that album, Gloria. What does that mean? Oh, there's a pen called Gloria.
It wasn't just the
Is
numbers.
that what he mean?
Yeah.
Who was he talking about in Reincarnated? Like there was enough depth in that album, you know.
To provoke conversation.
Right. To instead of just being like, hey, what's the first week number, and that be the grand headline.
Correct. You're right.
But it's also, it's exactly what you said about hip hop being a community. This is also an ecosystem.
Yes.
Media,
Yes.
hip hop, the arts in general, the way we consume music, the way people create music, it is an ecosystem, and each person, yes, fashion is another component to that. Each person, each field.
Yo, shout out to Pharrell and Nigo. They are the first individuals that turned a streetwear brand into something that is on the stock exchange, bro. They haven't, bro. I've never even thought of the idea of making a streetwear brand on the stock market. The first people to make a streetwear brand, human made, into a stock that could be traded. Hip hop is in the stock market. Fashion is in the stock market. Let me hear that part again, please.
Community. This is also an ecosystem.
Yes.
Media,
Yes.
hip hop, the arts in general, the way we consume music, the way people create music, it is an ecosystem, and each person, yes, fashion is another component to that. Each person, each field, each professional, what have you, plays a very specific role in making sure this ecosystem operates correctly. And I think because the clips are older and they come from a more traditional background in music where you were told you need to perform, you need to go out in the streets and, you know, do pop-ups, you need to do these shows, you need to do these interviews. They value their art enough to put it in the hands of people who know how to deal with it.
For sure.
And I don't think a lot of other artists do, but they do. They understand the value of this ecosystem. That's why it works. That's why that rollout is still going.
I think being next to back to the LV thing too, I think that when you have someone, they market obviously at a very high level, even though it's a niche high-end market, you're not gonna go up in there doing some simple, just release it shit. No, they're gonna be like, no, go.
It's a different taste level. I think people of a certain taste level still read print stories. People of a certain taste level still read when their favorite artist has something to say, still watches an hour-long interview when their favorite artist has something to say about an album that came out a year ago. People of a certain taste level listen to the cultural critics and the people who can add insight and analysis to these bodies of work how many months after. You have to have the interest to do that. And I feel like you need to keep that ecosystem solid in order for all these different parts to keep working in tandem.
Especially in an era where we're seeing AI stuff come in, both online, in media, in music, in art. Like, humanity is going to become increasingly more important. I think going out and touching people, you know, not literally, but going out and being seen is going to be way more important now to show that it's not computer generated. Like,
To your point though, another thing that happened this year for me that was dope to see was when Cardi dropped her album.
Yes.
Cardi B, when Am I the Drama came out, like she was in the streets in a real way.
On the train, in
like,
the streets.
She went, and so I'm from LA, bro. She went to Long Beach. Like, I don't even know why she was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when I tell you the line was a mile long in real life, because I drove it. I wasn't gonna walk it. I drove it just to see what was going on. But she did it pregnant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you have somebody like the vet.
Doing an album rollout while pregnant is some gangster level ish right there. That's like maximum level hustle right there. That's dangerous. That kind of hustle is dangerous. I just got to say that. God, let me hear that again.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but when I tell you the line was a mile long in real life, because I drove it. I wasn't gonna walk it. I drove it just to see what was going on. But she did it pregnant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you have somebody like the veterans outworking the youth. You have Cardi B, who's pregnant. Obviously, I didn't know how far along she was at the time, but literally hand-to-hand combat, selling physical CDs on the street. I know it's like it's gimmicky, it's marketing and whatnot.
It's fly.
It still happened.
It's fly.
It still happened. You know, she's still putting the work in. On top of that, you had other veteran, like I saw Will Smith really get out here in the streets to promote his album. Not that, I mean, people weren't talking about it like that, but I saw LL Cool J do the same thing when he was promoting his album. Like, he was out working every rapper I knew at the time, and he's a golden in this game. So I just think it's something to be said about people who learn from the experiences, and then being at 2025, obviously we're closing this year, but I think a lot of notes can be taken from this year and how people handle it.
Like, what do you think that divide is? Why isn't there that appreciation, or why aren't the younger artists doing what the veterans are doing, in your opinion? Like, what do you think that divide is?
Conditioning, I think, for starters. Like, again, back to the Instagram parallel. They're used to hitting the button and keeping it moving. That and just... It's the valuation of art to me at all times. Like, they don't, back to his point about the songs being good enough, like, it's an inherent problem where you're not putting enough time into the music, so let alone put enough time into promoting and marketing the music. It's just disposable, which is a horrible position to be in my opinion.
It boils down to, and this is not all young artists.
Before I continue, there's a reason why I got Instagram right here. So, from Parks's point that he just made, he got it from this episode on the podcast with Joe. So I just want to play this, because from what he just said, this adds to it. So let me just go ahead and let this fly.
A record producer in LA said, "Most musicians don't fail because they're bad. They fail because their nervous system can't survive the industry." He said the biggest myth in music is that success depends on exposure. No, he said, it depends on whether your body can handle being unseen longer than you expected. The ability to create when numbers drop, to write when no one cares, to perform after rejection number 47.
Or 447.
Yeah, 4,047,047. He said 90% of rising artists crumble not from hate, but from the invisible weight of being ignored.
Yeah, you left Earth right there.
He revealed the real industry filter: consistency under emotional pressure. Not talent, not looks, not luck. Just the ability to keep creating without collapsing into comparison, self-doubt, or the terror of being, quote unquote, too late. Most artists don't lose their dream, he said. They lose their self-trust. He ended with a line that felt like a punch. Your biggest enemy isn't the industry. It's the version of you that believes you're running out of time. He is killing.
Smoking, yeah.
Because that belief kills more careers than bad marketing or missed opportunities. And every musician in the room suddenly exhaled, like someone finally named the monster under the stage. A record producer
Left Earth with that one. He left Earth with that one, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Dude nailed it down to its core. When it comes to being an artist, you don't only need thick skin. You also need to train your mind. This thing that keeps your brain safe. All this right here. You gotta train this right here. You gotta train this, because I promise you right now, there are artists today that are probably giving up on their dream of being an artist because they're not being seen or heard. You got to understand, not being seen or not being heard is supposed to motivate and guide you to levels farther beyond your capabilities. That's how you become better. That's how you become greater. That's how you become more outstanding. If you're not able to have that thick skin and have your mind trained to abide your time and continue down this line, so that when it comes for the time for you to shine, you will be great. You will be golden. A lot of artists today, like, think about on TikTok, X, Instagram, social media in general, the average person, they don't have this train because instead of focusing on themselves, they're focusing on everything else people are saying on social media and thinking that's what is supposed to be the thing, that's what's supposed to be done. When in reality, you command yourself. They don't command you. It's up to you to make them like your music. But at the same time, you got to produce some quality music. If you're not doing that, well, I guess it's gangster. Go ahead and shake your ass to Walmart 8 months pregnant to promote your album. Is that what she did? I don't know what she did. I'm just saying the idea of her going out there and promoting the album is some gangster-ish. Ain't no one else. Let's think about it. Which one of these other girlies are doing that? She the only one. Now, do I like the theme behind it? Not necessarily, no. Because it's kind of damaging if we're going to be real. But in terms of boots on the ground, selling yo ish at the level that you at to your fans, that's some dope level shit right there.
It's disposable, which is a horrible position to be in my opinion.
It boils down to, and this is not all young artists. I don't want to.
Yeah.
But in this day and age, the DIY, like, there's more chances to get on and be seen and be heard. We have more rappers, we have more artists now than ever.
There's a lower
right?
barrier to
There's
entry.
a lower barrier for entry, right? So there's just more than ever. And it really boils down to, what are you in it for?
Right.
Is it legacy? And I really want to put out this music that defines my generation and the legacy and lives on forever? Or do I just want to play the role? Do I just want to look like it? Do I just want to get to a point where I could get the jury and be seen as it? Or do I really want to be an artist? And I think each artist has to ask themselves that question. And I think depending on that answer, like, you get out what you put in. So what we're seeing is a lot of people are getting out of it what they put into it. If your thing is just to upload and an Instagram post and you know, I'm gonna go sit with XY streamer and pray for the best, then God bless.
But
if you're thinking 20 years out in the future, then
Yes.
you're gonna make moves like you're
Yes.
thinking 20 years out from the future.
But back to the idea of conditioning. Are these artists of any age, doesn't have to be young artists, are they being taught how to do this if they did not come up doing this? The Clips came up doing this.
Correct.
Even Cardi came up hitting clubs and doing hostings and selling mixtapes.
She came up in the clubs.
Everybody came up with an understanding that you need to sell your product, which is music, and you need to meet people face to face and do that. Before the advent of social media, before social media even became what it is today, before that proliferation of this late stage social media, these artists knew to go outside. So who around these younger artists or these artists who are not that experienced?
These younger artists don't have anybody that they're around that's going to teach them and guide them any of these things. That's why we need artist development programs so that they can learn these things. Because there's no other way. There's no other way. Artist development programs is literally the key. That little artist camp that we be seeing from time to time, that's literally the key to create these individuals or to mold these individuals into outstanding artists. They got to learn the game. Once they learn the game, then they can play. That's it.
Who around them is telling them, you need to do this?
Well,
Is there anyone?
There's no artist development. No,
There
it's
we
not at
go.
the
That's
label
what I was trying to get at.
I beat you to it, nigga. I beat you to it, bro.
Because the
Stat chasing.
the A&Rs now, yes, it's data guys telling you, oh, the data tells us this is hot.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's old school A&Rs and old school label people who be like, all right, this how you take it from A to Z. This how you convert that to real life thing. Hey, this how you get hard ticket sales. Like, you know, Russ is another one, man. Shout out to Russ, dropped an album this year, independent, unsigned, still went on tour. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sold out tour.
Like, that's somebody who's kind of figured out on his own. He worked outside of the major label system, but I know that he studied and watched what came before him and is like, oh, this is how I get this to work. But he wanted that out of that, so that was the result that he got out of it, and he worked towards it. But you know, the industry, and it's not just like shitting on young artists.
Yeah.
It's these labels
Never.
too,
Yeah.
and these young executives, and it's everybody looking for the quick hit, man. Like it's like crack, man. You're gonna get high, and it's gonna leave right away, man. It's not worth shit.
Because they continue to produce hits over and over and over, they're getting a very high level of revenue, and if they don't hit those margins, they don't see that as a good thing. But it takes time to cook hits sometimes. You're not always going to get a hit all the time. It's not possible.
A lot of people use the argument that the artists go, like for example, we had Mariah Carey go on Kai Cenat this year. Yeah. A lot of people use the argument that they want to meet the audience, especially for younger artists that go to the streamers, they want to meet the audience where the audience is. That's the argument that I've heard a lot.
Which is fly, by the way.
Pardon?
I think that's fly. I think that's dope. You should do that.
Yeah, so like, how do y'all feel about that? Because that's the argument I hear.
My problem with it is it's become an or, and it's always and for me.
Word. Yeah.
Like I don't want this or that. I want both.
Correct.
And you have to do both in order to compete in a space where both exist. The ecosystem is flooded with content every day. And we damn near get more content than we get music. Which is insane.
Which is true.
Which is insane to think about, given the amount of songs get uploaded every week, right? But you get more content, clips, TikTok, videos, all kind of shit. You get that more than you get the music. So something that was presented to me in a similar way was by my homie G Malone. He said that now we see music before we hear it. And that resonated with me because now it's like, how do you know something is out? How do I know about the Mariah Carey song?
Has to be in your face.
I saw her on promo, I saw her on Kai, or I saw her drop the artwork for her album, or whatever the case may be. So that has to also be just as compelling as the songs that you created in the studio. It's not an or thing, it's an and.
It's an and thing. You know who did an amazing job to me this year was Jesse Reyes. With
Canada, baby! Canada, baby!
Who did an amazing job to me this year was Jesse Reyes with Pay the Memory. One, I love the album. I think she should have got Grammy nominated. But that Couldn't Be Me was one of the big songs from that album. She is posting a new video from that song every day.
Right now.
Like it goes back to that thing that I remember when Tyler said, like, yo, how do you just put a record out and just post it once? I seen Jessie Reyes, who was signed to a major, who was on tour, selling out cities, and she is promoting herself every day in a different way. So I think you put it perfectly. It's not an or, it's an and. You know what I'm saying? You use everything at your disposal.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with artists or whomever going to content creators and streamers, even though I come from a traditional editorial background, and there is a lot of complaints about that. I do feel like, again, it's an ecosystem, and we have to accept the fact that bloggers and content creators and streamers exist in this ecosystem now. You cannot deny them. You cannot deny them and say they are not a part of media, because at this point, whether you like it or not, they are a part of media. So I would love to see people still uphold traditional media and speak to trained journalists and speak to cultural critics and speak to the cultural analysts, and then also meet people where they're at and go to the streamers and go to the content creators. But it has become a this or that when you see influencers interviewing artists on the red carpet or on a show or on a segment instead of a trained reporter or a trained journalist. I would love for everyone to exist within this ecosystem happily, because those streaming moments and those internet, social media moments contribute to these rollouts in so many ways. The clips became a meme with the Labubu. Labubu thing, they became a meme on top of them doing real interviews. They did a print story, and now they were Labubufied. So I think all of that matters.
It does. Yeah, I completely agree with Head. It's not a or, it's an and. And it should be. Even back to the stat counter A&Rs, that's cool. But also maybe use your ear and just find something that you think is dope and sign it and promote it. You know, maybe when you put out an album, you do the post rollout and find what's reacting and boost that up. But maybe also pick one that you think is gonna work and put some money and promotion to it before the album comes out. You don't have to pick one or the other, pick both.
Yeah, also, go out to the club.
That too.
See what people react to. See what people are moving to. Like, see what, like, it's not rocket science, man. It's dedication and hard work.
As an active DJ, I have a wild idea for people.
Okay.
Go outside. You know what I'm saying? I know it sounds crazy, but like go outside and human.
Yeah.
It's not crazy. I be outside. I don't see nobody.
I'm being sorry.
That's
I'm
how I
being
know.
facetious.
Honestly,
get it, though.
for the younger generation,
I know.
it is a crazy idea.
I'm being facetious.
Especially
but I'm just saying.
post-COVID.
Yeah.
And like we still like have been, it's been coming on 5 years now since the pandemic had us all staying at home watching Versus on when Teddy Riley couldn't even get the internet together. I get it.
I forgot about
But
that.
there's a generation that was raised like that. There's a generation who didn't get to go to their high school graduation and maybe spent the last 2 years of high school home. So it is a real tough thing for this generation, but it works.
I don't think that's all the way true. My wife works in a grade school. I've got friends with kids that are younger. I got nieces and nephews that are younger, and I've heard them like use AI as a diss. You know what I'm saying? Like something that's whack or whatever, they'll be like, that's AI. You know what I'm saying? Or see some AI shit and be like, that's whack. You know what I mean? Like, so I haven't lost hope for the youth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's.
They're gonna lead us into, you know what I'm saying? I'm 45. There's only so much more. You know, I still got something left in the tank. But there's only so much more that I could do. Is really this young generation that's gonna lead us on and keep this thing going.
Speaking of the young generation, I want to talk about breakouts and emergent artists of this year. There's been a lot of like new artists pop up this year. I'm gonna start with EVA for this section. Who caught your attention this year that you felt was like a breakout artist?
Breakout is such an interesting word to me because I'm of the understanding that you can exist as an artist and have been doing your thing for years, but still not break through. So with that being said, I think Doechii was the breakout artist of 2025 for me, even though she's been doing her thing for a few years and she's been putting in the work. I think she really broke through the ceiling in 2025. I think she is the quintessential new age artist in that she is true to her craft, which is rapping, but she's still genre bending. She's a performance artist. For sure. She's integrated herself into the fashion world. She's still of the younger generation, so she's heavy on the internet and the social media culture, but she's still doing that traditional type of music, craftsmanship, and rollout. And I feel like this was just her breakthrough year as far as everything hitting for her.
Yeah.
So she's someone that really impressed me, despite already knowing who she was and being familiar with her music. I feel like 2025 was her moment, her breakthrough moment.
Okay, my question is, because I don't disagree, but should we only say one, or should we list everybody we think will be a breakout artist overall? Because I feel like that would be more substantial than to just list one. And what do you mean they're starting to AI old footage of back in the day? Yo, explain that.
I don't disagree with that.
Not mad at that.
I agree. How about you?
I thought that was very well articulated.
Thank you.
Like some of the points I had, some of the points you had, I didn't know that I thought the same way, but yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. So Doechii for you too?
Oh no, I would say for me, oh man.
Could also be like an emerging artist as well.
For me, it would be, it's a couple of emerging artists that I've been very impressed with. People aren't really familiar or hip to yet to Miles Minnick. Miles Minnick is like, he's from the Bay. He's technically a Christian rapper, and I know that turns people off, but this ain't that. This is
So wouldn't it be nice?
I feel like I've seen him on like Instagram Reels or something.
Yeah, he did Rolling Loud. Like it's turned up. It's turned up in the right direction. I think he has something really special to offer. He has a festival that I went to called Glow Fest. Sold out 5,000 people, all ages, independently. Like, it's insane to see that. And then he went on tour with Lecrae this year. Lecrae,
shout out to Lecrae.
They did a joint album together. Lecrae's a 4-time Grammy-winning artist. Like, I think that whole movement with Miles Minnick, it's a guy named Tommy Zuko that's super dope. What they're doing in that like non-secular space is like, it's top tier to me. It's really amazing to see. And then also, I kind of want to shoot some bail to. I like what Ray Vaughn did early. this year, early 2025, when the whole Joey
beef.
Badass thing happened. Just because I like that, I like the spirit of competition. I like that, that like 3 weeks that we had was really, really good. And it was, to me, what was a nice button to put on that was it didn't get out of hand. There was no lawsuits being filed. It was.
I knew it. In the back of my mind, I said, what if he gonna mention it? And I knew it. Hey, that's what I'm saying, though. It's best to lay out everybody that we see as emerging artists instead of just listing one. So we got Dolce, we got Ray Vaughn. I knew this mother. I love it, bro.
That we had was really, really good. And it was, to me, what was a nice button to put on that was it didn't get out of hand. There was no lawsuits being filed.
Got him.
It wasn't no clown shit. It was just like, hey, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. It was some real spirit of rap competition. This shit is hip hop. Everybody met up. Like everybody kind of like ran into each other, met each other. Like, yeah, hey, you got me with that. Hey, that shit was hard. Like, that's what this shit is. And to me, like, I want to salute all of those. Joey, like Ray Vaughn. Like, I feel like that moment was really special to me coming off the heels of what happened previously.
Definitely put a lot of people onto their music too.
Kai
I know a lot
Cash,
of people.
Kai Cash is fire. I got to echo the same step. Ray Vaughn would be one of mine. I think Olivia Dean, I don't know if she's in the R&B conversation, but she's absolutely fire. I feel like she just blew up like last week. Ray Vaughn, also to me, put out one of the best albums this year. Like it's in the conversation somewhere. It might not be top 2, but it's a really good album.
That's in my top 10 this year.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I just listened to it again. I've been listening.
Funny enough, that album was like his own version of like Good Kid, Mad City kind of vibe. Because I remember when I reacted to that, that was the kind of vibe that I was getting from the Ray Vaughn album. So that's what's up. Damn.
To it constantly throughout the year, which for me is a testament to a good project. And I like the way, back to marketing, they did the battle as friendly as great, and then he dropped a great project afterwards.
Correct.
You feel me? Like that's taking advantage of a situation. I don't know if it was planned or if it was some off freestyle. Maybe you can.
You think Joey's project or Ray's?
Ray Vaughn.
Oh, Ray's project. Ray's project came before. Well, it was kind of in between.
It was good timing.
It was great timing, but Joey dropped after, way after.
Yeah.
Can I ask my West Coast brother who he thought won that whole battle?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, you gotta think that long and hard.
Yeah, it's tough, huh?
It's hard.
When you say one, I think we talked about it. I think what. So there's things that.
It's okay, Head. You can say Joey won.
No. I'm not gonna say no. I've been told him that. I told him that. Like I told Joey when he was on my show, I was like, hey, I think you got that. But there are also things that people don't know.
Like
You're not going to
Explain.
divulge those
Yeah.
But the things people don't know.
What do you mean by
know
that?
something.
I will say,
It ain't
to one point of that, I think Ray kind of won in the sense that I think his project was a little bit better than Joey's.
Yeah.
Oh no, for sure.
So
I
there's
definitely
something
do
to that too.
But that I ain't gonna lie. So,
But Joey's project was dope. I don't want to make it sound like I'm shit.
bro, the main song. What's the song? Was it called Flea? What's the name of the song?
Super Fleet?
Super Flea. I love that
That
song.
shit is fire. Why
I
nobody
love that song.
like that record?
I like that song. I love that song.
I think that's
I play that record.
that's a fun
I
record.
love that
Yeah,
song.
that's a
The
fun
video
as
is
a
so
dope
fun too.
I just remember seeing like people like critiquing that. I'm like, this shit is hard.
Because it strays away from what people knew Joey as. He was like the golden child of the
Boom bap resurgence.
boom
Okay,
bap.
all right.
So he did something fun and fly and very New York. So if you were outside of that, you didn't really get it.
Yeah.
But I loved it. And shout out to Joey Badass for including Loaded Lux on
That shit
that
was
record.
hard.
That was so
That shit was hard.
hard. Shout out to Loaded Lux.
Yeah, I think Joey got it.
Shout out to my guy Daylight, man. But that was definitely.
That was so
he
hard.
sneaked
Loaded
on that one.
Loaded Lux deserves his
Daylight
flowers.
showed up in that battle too now, though.
Absolutely.
He has
man.
meat.
Yeah, Daylight is one of those ones.
He is.
For me, I agree with Ray Vaughn, the good, the bad, the dollar menu again, because the intention, so much that he talked about on that album resonated with just family, addiction, the difficulty of just loved ones and growing up and having that friction and trying to come out of it on the other end okay, well situated, then being a father with kids and being like, okay, I got to kind of provide for my kids better and show them better than what I was taught. I thought, and from a young artist to have that type of perspective, I thought that was amazing. I thought Lareezy had a dope year this year. Man, it's so fun to watch Samara Sin do
Break
her
out,
thing. Like
yeah.
I think she's amazing.
She's gonna break out next year.
Yeah.
For sure. Like,
I was just about to say that because even though her moment on XXL, like the freestyle, it was substantial, I feel like that's preparing her for next year for her to have her breakout moment as a new artist. So I like that we're including her in there too, so that's dope.
Thing. Like I think she's amazing.
she's gonna break out next year.
Yeah.
For sure. Like on a bigger.
Yeah, to me, she's there with the Double XL freshman, and I see her as there. But there's more.
I'm talking
there's more
mainstream.
for
You
her,
know what I mean?
for her
Like,
future.
For sure.
AZ Chai, I thought
Of
there was
course.
so much that.
Bro, that's yo. So we had Doechii, we got Rayvon, AZ Chike. Yo, LA's looking good right now, bro.
was said about who Kendrick put on the album and the opportunity and what it did for the West Coast and Chike is like when talent meets preparation. Like he was prepared for the moment.
Preparation, opportunity.
Right. He performed on the GNX tour. He was the only one of all the featured artists to do that because he put himself in the position.
Yeah.
He took the situation really seriously. So I want to see what he does with his album.
I heard he's got some heat.
Can
been fun to
we
watch.
go back real quick to, not back in the conversation, I just want to mention something.
Okay.
Moments for me.
Okay.
Rhapsody got the Grammy this year.
Yes.
To me, that was one of the I know like what that meant to her to get that a due. Like Rhapsody's been long overdue.
Yeah.
And for her to get that was like, for me, Layla's Wisdom was like,
Yeah, it's one of the
that shit was fucking I mean, it was tough competition, but I'm just saying for her to get that vindication.
I really like what she did with Madlib with there's just a single A and B
single,
side,
yeah.
but they did
One-off.
So good.
physical only for months and months,
Yeah.
and then did digital eventually. But
Yeah, that was so amazing too, cause I had to buy it. Like, yo,
Yeah, same.
that shit went out a vinyl.
Shout out to
Yeah, I
Rhapsody.
need that.
I need that.
yeah, facts.
sure.
And it was
To
fire.
Rhapsody for
And
sure.
I didn't think it was ever gonna be on digital. I was like, yo, this might
Same.
be the only chance I get to hear this record. I'm glad the rest of the world gets to hear it, but that's such a dope record.
For sure, I agree. I feel like for me, Doechii definitely is my breakout artist. On the R&B side of things, I think Raven Lenae had a great year too.
okay.
Really broke out into the mainstream. I agree with EVA in the way that she's been making music for almost a decade now, but this really felt like the breakthrough year. Also, some artists like Chris Patrick.
Chris Patrick is nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Who had, to go back to our conversation
Moments.
on Kai's Mafiathon, had a real breakout.
Shout out Kai Cenat for having such a smart idea for your Mafiathon. Big shout out to Kai Cenat for that.
Moment with the freestyle, with On the Radar and stuff like that. So yeah,
That's why streaming matters in this ecosystem of media.
shout out to Chris
sure.
Patrick. Yup.
For sure.
And he's moving around. It's the and thing too.
Yeah.
It's not an or
Yes,
thing.
and.
It's an and thing.
With the streaming though, because I remember I explained it, because the way I was explaining it, I was trying to translate the audience into units sold. That doesn't work. But if you are utilizing that live stream to promote your talent, which is what Kai Cenat provided that space for, dude went viral just like that. And it was off of a Kendrick track. Man in the Garden. Come on, bruh. That's what I'm talking about.
One more. I've been remiss.
Go ahead.
Even though it came out last year, I felt the breakout was this year musically as a solo artist is Leon Thomas.
Oh, yes,
For sure.
100%.
For sure. He's here. He's here.
Leon has been behind the scene for years. If you knew him from even his work just acting on TV and then as a producer and whatever, but man, he had a moment.
He's here.
He's
He's here.
amazing live.
And I guess technically it's this year because the deluxe of Mutt was
came out
this
this
year.
year.
So
And Mutt had his high.
Chris Brown demolished that remix. How dare you let Chris Brown come in and steal your song like that, even though he a feature? But you know what though? That feature put Mutt back onto the map for him to also follow up with his own songs off that project. And my God, his sound is so necessary right now. And I gotta respect it.
Highest Billboard success this year, and then he dropped the Folks EP, which was like
crazy.
Just when you thought you could put him in the box and you thought Mutt was it, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna hit you with a little
Also,
bit of these Prince
crazy
vibes."
feature on too. He's just Yeah.
You know what else is a breakout, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
The Breezy Bowl was crazy.
Okay.
I think for me, seeing him be able to do that on that level, I think we'll get some fire music.
Is that like the stadium show?
Yeah, the Breezy Bowls. Like he was able to go on tour and like that's a different class that you in when you get to do them stadiums. You know what I mean?
And to do that in all the adversity he's faced over the years,
Correct.
you know, whether it's you side on it's right or wrong, him maintaining that fan base for this long is absolutely impressive.
I mean, the one thing, and you can say a lot about Chris. Chris has been through a lot, through the ups and downs, but he keep a fire record.
He do.
And a fire performance. Like you know, I love what he's doing, and then it kind of like exists. At this point, it's its own thing. You know what I'm saying? You're either with it or you're not. I don't think you're going to change anybody's mind on Chris Brown at this point. You either feel how you feel about it. But, you know, musically, the dude shows up every single time.
For sure.
Bro, conversations like this bring me joy. Y'all see how I was just so like, I was so attentive. I was so locked in. I'm literally, my eyes could not come off the screen because of how important this conversation is, bruh. This is serious. This is so serious, bro. It's not a joke. We need this. We need more of this. That's why I said on my Instagram story, Toronto need to do the same thing. You gotta bring a spark to the city now. You gotta resuscitate it because it's looking scary out here. It's looking a little too scary out here. I'm being so real. This is bro, literally, y'all gotta understand. The reason why the NBA is still the NBA is because of all the talk shows and all the sports commentary shows that they have about NBA. That's why the NBA will always be a conversation forever. As long as those shows are still there, the NBA is not going anywhere. We need the same thing in hip hop or in the culture, period. We need those conversations because it will never get music out of here as long as we have those conversations. This alone is so substantial. Bro, y'all need to understand, whatever show that y'all watch that's related to music, this one episode, this part of an episode, washes that. Such a W video, bro. I'm telling you, this was amazing. This was absolutely amazing. And I loved every second of it. God, did I like already? Yeah, I did it. Good. This came out only 5 hours ago. So this one dropped today. I loved it. Every moment, every second. That's the kind of conversations I like. Honestly, that's the kind of conversation I want to produce myself too. Maybe one day in 2026, I might have my own little show. You never know. But right now, W video, bro. W video. I have nothing to add to this. I don't have no final thoughts, nothing. Because I talked about everything I need to talk about throughout this. The only thing I need to say is I want part 2. I want part 2 so I can react to that as well. Amazing work this is. Wow.